Hello family, welcome to the channel. This is Becky Culture Media, where we talk about trending news and events. So in this video, we are going to be talking about the news of the moment, the news of the season. The federal government is planning to give 8,000 Naira to poor and vulnerable households, and this, they say, is their plan to cushion the effect of the fuel subsidy removal that happened on the 29th of May 2023 during the inauguration of the current president of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So I'm going to be talking about it in this video, as well as take some funny, hilarious comments from social media. Nigerians has been reacting to the news, and I got some very hilarious comments to share with you guys. So stay tuned to the video. You can tell that it's going to be an interesting video, so please click on the like button, as well as subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, and share the video with a friend. And to all my returning subscribers, thank you so much for tuning in. Now, without further ado, let us get right into it. So the president has made known to the public his plan to cushion the effect of fuel subsidy removal, and he said he's doing this by distributing the sum of 8,000 Naira to poor and vulnerable households in Nigeria for the period of 6 months. In one of my recent videos, I did let you guys know that the president wrote to the Senate to seek for the approval to extract 500 billion Naira from the supplementary budget that was made by ex-presidents Muhammadu Buhari in 2022. Well, anyways, the Senate has approved that loan for the federal government. But it also hit the news that the federal government was also asking for another loan of $800 million from the World Bank, which they have also gotten approval for. Now, they say that their plan to cushion the effect of the subsidy removal is by giving poor households. Now, note that word, households, because a lot of people are mistaking it on social media. I see a lot of people saying they are giving individuals. They are not giving individuals, they are giving households the sum of 8,000 Naira per month for the period of 6 months. And they say that this is their plan to cushion the effect of the subsidy removal. Now, based on their calculation, 12 million poor households will be getting this money per month for the period of 6 months through cash transfer. And there was also a video online showing the president expressing his concern, on making sure that this money do not get into the wrong hands. Now, it is important for me to emphasize that this is not the first time that Nigeria would be making such attempts. For the past 8 years during the regime of ex-president Muhammadu Buhari, I've been hearing a lot of times that, oh, the government is sharing money, they are sharing money. I never for one day saw anybody that has collected money from the government, neither did I collect any myself. So the president was expressing his concern, saying that he's doing all his calculations and doing all his due diligence to ensure that this money do not get into the wrong hands. Because like from the federal government down to the poor and vulnerable citizens of Nigeria, like that is a long road. It's like a journey. The money gets to different hands before it gets to the state government, before it gets to the local government, from the local government to the Baale, from the Baale to that person, like so many people in between. And before you know it, the people that this money is meant for do not actually get the money. Another thing that I've been thinking about is their criteria for determining this poor household. Like, what is the criteria for determining this 12 million poor households? How do they get to figure them out? How do they get to understand that, okay, these are the people that are poor? Do they have the database? Do they know the amount that each family is earning? Do they know the cost of living of each family? Like, what's the criteria of determining all this, poor households that they are talking about? And from the report, they said that the population of poor people has increased by 7 million since the removal of fuel subsidy. In fact, Becky Culture family, we are not going to be part of those 7 million in Jesus' name. Amen. So out of this $800 million that the government is borrowing from the World Bank, I checked the plan, like the budget for the money, and something caught my attention. They said 500 billion Naira for palliatives for the poor and vulnerable people in Nigeria. Then they said 70 billion for National Assembly. Now, while I was listening to the news, I got that this analysis was completely unfair. Because when you say 500 billion for palliatives and you're saying that, okay, each household, and we know when we're talking about household, we're talking of, families of 4 or families of 5, where you talk about, father, mother, and maybe 3 children, or father, mother, and 2 children. So if you give a family of 5, 8,000 naira per month, when you divide it by 5, it means that one person is getting 1,600. And if you divide that by 30, it means each person will be able to spend less than 54 naira in a day. Now, you can tell me, you can attest to the fact that that will not make any meaningful or effective difference. Now, out of that budget, I can see that 70 billion naira is allocated to National Assembly members. And National Assembly members is less than 500 members, like 500 people. Now, if they are to share the money equally amongst 500 people, it means that one person will be getting more than 140 million naira. Now, what is this government doing? Are they really passionate about the poor citizens of Nigeria? Do they really want to help the poor citizens of Nigeria, or just ridicule them and maybe use this as an opportunity to enrich their pockets even further? We all saw what happened during the COVID-19 palliatives, when people were locked up in their houses during COVID-19. Nobody could go out to work. People were hungry. People were suffering. But yet this government, they were piling up palliatives in warehouses, like foodstuffs, like things that can even get spoiled. Noodles, spaghetti, rice, things that can get spoiled. Yet they were piling them up in warehouses, keeping them for reasons that I cannot even figure out. But in this situation now, we are talking about money that can be kept, and they would keep spending it. And yet they are trying to say that this money will get to the real people that it is meant for. I am doubting it. I doubt it. I don't even have confidence in this plan. Anyways, I would also like to take some reactions that I saw online. So this person said, when you decide to subsidize consumption instead of production, a consuming nation will always be at the borrowing end. We need smart people in government. And I think that is absolutely true. I was expecting this government to think of how they can improve the economy, to think of how they can provide steady electricity. Like, if you give me steady electricity, if you give people who are into production steady electricity, you have gone a long way in reducing the cost of living. If you give me steady electricity and I do not have to buy fuel to get light at night, I do not have to buy fuel to run my washing machine, I don't have to buy fuel to do a lot of things, you have saved me a lot of money instead of giving me 8,000 naira per month. So what this person is saying is absolutely true. This person said if he really has the citizens at heart, he should start with reducing the cost of governance, increase salary, and see how effective it will be in cushioning the effect of the subsidy removal. Obi is coming. And that is absolutely true, because look, the cost of governance in this country is so high. It's so high. The salaries that these people are receiving, the pensions that the past government is receiving. Recently, I heard of ex-governor Benga Daniels. He decided to let go of his pension because some of these some of these past governors, they are still collecting their pension. And guess what? Most of them are in the Senate House and they are still collecting salaries as senators. The method of governance in this country, like the cost of governance is so high, and I cannot even understand it. They were talking about the review of minimum wage. That is one thing I was keeping my fingers crossed about. I was expecting an update on it. I was thinking those are the areas they will focus on. Review the minimum wage, increase the salary of civil servants. Make transportation easier. They were talking about introducing CNG buses. They were talking about introducing electric buses. Those are the areas I was expecting them to take actions on. But it just be like them pack all those ones for one corner, and now they are talking about giving 8,000 naira to each family every month for 6 months. Now, this person said 8K a month is enough for anyone now. You want chop balanced diet? Use 6K, buy 3 module of gari. Use 2K and buy sugar. Soak half cup every day. You can soak in the morning and allow to swell for evening. It sure me say you no go even finish the 8K before the month runs out. So I'm sure this person is just being sarcastic, trying to point out the fact that 8,000 naira is not even enough for an individual, talk less of a whole family. So this person said the 8K is not for you people here on Instagram. Leave it for those people that need it. It will go a long way for some people. I doubt if it will go a long way. I doubt it, because Nigerians are funny. Even if the government come now and say we want to give people one pack of Indomie, one pieces of Indomie, you will see people rushing to take one piece of Indomie as if their life depends on it. That's to show you that the people are suffering. There is hunger in the land. There is famine in the land. People are suffering. But the fact that people are suffering doesn't mean that you treat them like paupers. 8,000 naira is not going to make any meaningful difference to a family, to the poor and vulnerable family in Nigeria. What I am expecting from the government: steady power supply. It is very important. If you save Nigerians the money that they use on fuel, if you save producers, small businesses, manufacturers, if you save them the money that they spend on fuel, you have gone a long way in helping the society. Another thing that I expect is free lands, fertilizers, training, and support for farmers to provide cheap food. Farmers are suffering. Fertilizers are expensive. The cost of transporting their farming produce is expensive. So before this foodstuff gets to the poor and vulnerable people, it is also expensive. I am expecting free education and transportation, especially for school children and civil servants. These are some of the things I'm expecting the government to look into. I am expecting affordable housing plan. They are doing it in other countries. We can also do it as well. Why not get an affordable housing plan, like by the government? Build very well planned estates with comfortable and small house that can fit into comfortable small households that will go at a very affordable rate. If you save people house rents, huge amount of house rents, you have helped them to save a lot of money. I'm expecting alternative transportation system. Like I mentioned, the CNG buses. Those are buses that work on compressed natural gas. I'm expecting them to introduce electric buses, make them affordable, put them out there. I'm expecting them to go into all that. I'm expecting good road network. Those are the things I'm expecting from the government. Not them saying that they want to be giving each household 8,000 naira. I'm expecting them to review the minimum wage like they said they would. They've been talking about that for some months now. Review the minimum wage. I'm not just going to talk and behave like I'm an island of knowledge. Let me know what you think about it. Do you think it's a good idea that the government should give the poor people of Nigeria 8,000 naira per month? How do you think they're going to figure out the poor people? Because you might say that I'm poor, and me, from my own perspective, I'm not poor. You might look at another person and say this person is not poor, and maybe the person is suffering. So what will be the criteria? Just let me know your point of view in the comment section. Share your point of view with me. I'll be waiting to hear from you. This is Becky Culture Media, where we talk about trending news and events. Please click on the like button if you haven't clicked on it yet. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Share the video, drop a comment. To all my returning subscribers, thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you in my next one. Bye for now.